This week on HMP, we've got yet another movie that might just be a Christmas movie. I mean, it was written by Shane Black, so maybe it's a Christmas movie? Well, welcome to Half-Ass Movie.
Now is this a Christmas movie? Now is this a Christmas movie? Now is this a Christmas movie? Or is it dumb slop?
Welcome back to Half-Ass Movie Podcast, the show where we put together a half-ass theme as an excuse to watch movies. My name is Adam Porters, and joining me today, he'd wear Sam Jackson's green suit if he could get away with it. Sweet Sean Zakovacs from the internet.
I totally would. Dun, 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 dun. I'm going to add snarky color commentary. Dun, 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 dun. Get mad at both of you guys at some point in the show. Dun, 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 dun.
It does happen that way. And he questions just how good a man with one eye can see, Bruce Leslie.
I got to tell you, I think I'm rubbing off on Sean after that intro. So good job, Shawnzy.
We got him singing. I never thought we'd see the day here. Next thing you know, he's food and dancing. Who's to say what's going to happen on this show, everybody?
If I could get you to dress up in a little bit of Samuel L. Jackson's drip from this, Shawnzy, me and you could go stepping.
First of all, I would totally do that if I could get away with it. Secondly, I think it's a hate crime if I put on the clothes that he's wearing in this movie. But my God, I would do it. I would do it in a second. In a second, I would do it. Are you kidding me? Those thick turtlenecks? Get out of here. I would kill those.
All I need is the fuzzy green hat, and I can pull the rest of the ensemble together from what I've already got in my wardrobe.
Now, fellas, the 4K of our movie today, the Long Kiss Goodnight, came out, and inside it is a postcard of Samuel L. Jackson in that outfit and everything. And on the reverse side of the postcard, in where you would write your little notes, it says "Merry Christmas, motherfucker."
Oh, that's great. That's
so
great.
That comes in as your little gift here when you buy the Arrow video version of Long Kiss Goodnight. We'll get into all that kind of good stuff. But we are back, everybody. And the question this month is this a Christmas movie? And this week we got a movie written by a guy who writes a lot of Christmas movies. We got Shane Black's The Long Kiss Goodnight, directed by Renny Harlin, starring Gina Davis and Samuel L. Jackson. We'll see if old Shane Black lives up to that reputation of being a Christmas movie kind of guy. He's done it a few times.
He's done it more than a few. Yeah.
He has.
Some might say a little too much, but we'll figure all that out. Before we do want to remind people that this show is live on YouTube as we speak right now. And we got people popping off in the chat here and everything. Our regulars with Alex and old Trillion there and everything. Thank you guys for joining in, and please hit that like and subscribe button out there. We really appreciate that. Hit the hype button if you're on mobile there, and of course, as always,
Portress
throw in a super chat there, aka a Portress Bucks, and we'll make sure to get that out on air and get your message to everyone out there. We really appreciate all of that kind of good stuff. And you know what else is out there, everybody? Our merchandising. That's right. Merchandising. If you go to our TeePublic page, that's over. Links are in YouTube there and everything. You got a whole smattering of things here that you can get just before Christmas here. Like, how about a Bruce in Summertime t-shirt? Summertime Bruce. We're a little, look at that. They even want you to save even more money. So go check out all the fun merch that we have over there at the HMP store. We really appreciate all that kind of stuff. And you guys are really awesome. And big times, thank you to the folks over at patreon.com/HMP. Those guys get pre-show, post-show, and Dinger Zone. This week's Dinger Zone, we are talking our, what are we calling it now? We're kind of changing things up a little bit. I've written it down. Top 5 badass ladies in cinema.
Hall of Fame.
Well, Hall of Fame.
It's the 2025 Hall of Fame induction ceremony for top 5 badass ladies.
We'll get all the nomenclature down soon, I promise. But
we'll never get it right, but it's okay.
We'll
try.
All I have to do is write it down once. It just needs to be where I can find it later. That's
the strange thing is the three of us can never remember it, but like at least 30 people will remember to tell us we got it wrong. Like, I don't know how everybody remembers better than us.
I prefer that.
Yeah. I like to have the help. I never turn down a helping hand.
Guys did it wrong again. So patreon.com/HMP. join up at any level. And that's the nice part is that no matter what you believe this show is worth, put that back in a dollar form, send it our way, get more stuff in the process, and help support this here program. We really appreciate that. And we really appreciate all of you fine people for helping this podcast roll for so many years and everything. Guys, real quick before we get into the final thing, you Sean, you asked last week about my dad's big giant Christmas stack and everything of Christmas movies. Yes. I have a picture.
Nice.
So
oh my, look at that bad boy.
This is the set of Christmas movies. There's Die Hard's missing from it. He just like, well, that's a whole nother thing. I'm not bringing that up for this. He had a whole rhyme and reason for everything there, but you've got all kinds. And so whenever they were telling me about how they were like DVRing Christmas stuff. They'll watch anything. They couldn't even tell me what it was, but apparently it was so bad. They were just like, we watched it and we just deleted it right away. And I'm like, what the hell? They're like, it was only 45 minutes. We started watching it. We hated it, but it was like, well, we're this far and we might as well finish it.
Hold on. Nobody talk for a second, because I just want to look at this, and I'm gonna have a funny response for this. So give me like 3 seconds of silence.
Okay.
It's glorious.
So that's what's like life is like over where I live. So we have
awesome, man. What a great stack of movies. Cool.
They break them out on Christmas every year.
Alex was asking for some clarification on what we mean by badass, and you'll be happy to know, Alex, that we actually didn't talk about what we mean. We just all assume we mean the same thing. So something tells me if you're asking, we're probably going to have 3 different sets of criteria because we didn't talk.
I'm glad that somebody can read that, because I can't read a single thing that people post. I can't read anything.
Like that.
Yeah. The way that I saw it was lady who can kick somebody's ass is the way I saw it.
Yes, that's how I saw it too,
more or less.
Well, but not all of my butt kicking is physical.
Sometimes it's mental. All right, well, let's get into this one. Here is the IMDb plot line for The Long Kiss Goodnight from 1996. As we know, IMDb always 100% correct in everything they say and or do. Government agents come after an enigmatic woman, I always have a hard time with that word, who gradually remembers her past. This is written by Shane Black, and maybe the most Christmassy of all screenwriters. This movie, we got Lethal Weapon, Kiss Kiss, Bang Bang, Iron Man 3. The man loves a Christmas movie, for heaven's sake.
So
we'll see if this one holds up. It's directed by Renny Harlin, who did Die Hard 2, The Adventures of Ford Fairlane, which I know Bruce is a huge fan. Cliffhanger and Cutthroat Island just before this movie. And then after this, he would direct Deep Blue Sea and Driven, not the Stallone one. And most recently, The Strangers Chapters 1 and 2, 2 separate movies over the last
that was
2 years.
him?
Yeah, I didn't know
that was him.
I'm a fan of the series, and I've never seen either one of those. This is starring Gina Davis, Samuel L. Jackson, Brian Cox, Craig Bierrico, and David Morse. All right, let's get into it.
Hopefully you don't mind if I help you just a little bit on the synopsis, but she's amnesiac for the people listening, not asthmatic.
How did I?
You said an asthmatic is what I thought you said.
Did I? Okay, maybe I did. Maybe she got a hard time.
She may be. I mean, you never know. You can be both.
She was embarrassed, so she didn't want to have her inhaler out during the movie, so they did it in between.
I don't even make a try. All I have to do is just go tisk tisk, Adam Portress, tisk tisk. You said it wrong.
And then I just go par for the course, Adam Portress. That's how I do. Like, oh, you did something wrong again. Well, we'll chalk it up, big boy. All right.
I like to think of the poor listener who's never seen the movie, and they really do think that Shane Black wrote this great story about an asthmatic woman. Like I kind of want to see the Shane Black asthmatic woman story now.
Well, it's going to take place at Christmas. She's going to say something very inappropriate at one point.
There'll be some F-bombs for no other reason other than Christmas.
He'll probably be a spunky kid.
Yeah.
Now, The Long Kiss Goodnight, a movie I remember a whole bunch about it. For whatever reason, this is another movie that I remember them playing the hell out of trailers on television and everything. And they showed the machine gun through the ice That was like the main, kind of crux of every trailer and everything else like that. So I was like, man, we got to see this movie. And so I eventually would, when it would come out on video and everything, because in, 96, I'm not heading out to the movie theater to see an R-rated film because, my parents were responsible. But
was this a summer release?
I think it was in October. It was October.
Okay. Because I don't think I even knew this movie existed, but that would have been just when I was starting medical school. So I got a little out of touch with pop culture for a while, but I had no idea what this movie was. Like I had heard the title before, but when you guys said we were going to watch it, I didn't know what I was getting into at all.
You suggested it.
Well, you guys had given us a list and I looked at something I hadn't seen before and I kind of favored that over some of the others. So yeah, I'm always going to suggest a novel something over something I've seen and not a fan of.
Sure.
Hey, that's fair.
So yeah, but I'm glad because it's not one I probably ever would have watched either if it wasn't for the show. But it was
you hadn't seen this until this week.
No, and it's the name of it and the era in which it was made, 96. If it was good in 96, I feel like I've already seen it. And if it was bad in 96, I still probably already seen it. So if I hadn't seen it by now, I'm probably not going to, kind of thing. Unless you're at somebody's house and it's on. But I knew so little about it that when it started, I was thinking, gee, that lady they've got in the lead really wants you to think she's Gina Davis. And then some opening credits revealed that it was, in fact, Gina Davis. And I felt vindicated that I knew who she was without being told first. But yeah, I thought it was just a Samuel L. Jackson vehicle. And that's only because Adam had said to me via text, be prepared to enjoy some Samuel L. Jackson or something like that. So yeah, I knew nothing about it. So I had a real fun time with it. It also led me to have that a sort of first time experience that I won't have if I do rewatch it, which I probably will. So that'll be fun when I get to talk about. Well, I thought I was watching something that I turned out to be watching something different, and I didn't like what I thought I was watching, but I did kind of like what I found out I was watching. And I brought in some negative baggage with Renny Harlin because I lived through Cutthroat Island and listened to morning radio and watched monologues on late night TV back then. So I can't help it. I don't like Renny Harlin, but I do like Shane Black because he wrote the Monster Squad. So it's like I got some goodwill, got some bad will. Let's see what happens. And this movie really played up to it because when I didn't like something, I just blamed Renny Harlin. When I did like something, I gave the credit to Shane Black.
I thought you were just going to be like, and then I applied that for life. If you don't have anything, if you just find something that's wrong, blame Renny Harlin. Damn it, I'm late for work again. Stupid Renny Harlin.
Was this film shot on digital? Or film?
Oh, heck no.
Okay,
so this was shot.
This is film, man.
Because in 96, there were some early adopters, but there was this time where they thought they had made digital look like film, but they thought wrong. And this at times kind of looked like that. That's why I was curious. The cinematography,
the special effects are.
You need this bad boy. They went back to the 35 millimeter negative, and it looks gorgeous. And there are moments in this. The cool part too is that, like, especially with watching back in film and stuff like that, you see how kind of an imperfect medium it is and everything, because there are moments where there's just like tiny little bits that are out of focus. That, like, in the digital world, you'd be like, we didn't nail that focus. We got to do that again. And there'll be just like little time and like very dramatic big shots and everything. And it'll be ever so slightly out of focus. But then there'll be moments where it is just so unbelievably razor sharp focus. But it just kind of shows you how film was kind of this magical medium and stuff where you really were just kind of putting it down, guessing, and then later going, well, maybe we got it right. Let's find out then. And so it's just kind of the wild science and gambling that was going on when we were shooting on film is kind of wild and crazy. And this film kind of shows it in small, little funny ways.
And it also kind of had some moments where it felt to me, it kind of felt like it could go either way. Like I could either really like this a lot or really not like it a lot. So that in and of itself becomes like this meta suspense that gives me a little bit more reason to watch the movie. And I believe that when you're enjoying the story, when you're caught up in the characters, you will forgive some technical imperfections. That's what I believe. And that was probably happening because I really felt like once we get to a certain part of the movie, I quit complaining about the cinematography. So I think I started really enjoying the story at some point. In fact, cool. Internally, I'm convinced that they switched DPs at some point about 33% of the way through this movie.
He got the instructions for the camera, and then he was like, "Oh, this is how it works." Damn. Okay.
Yeah, it was filmed sequentially.
I gotta say that the thing about this movie at the top, like the beginning of the movie, and I forget that they used to make movies like this, especially in the like mid 90s to like all the way to like probably the end of the 2000s, that aren't we quirky and fun? Look how much fun I'm having with my family. See how normal we all are? Like they would do this incessantly, and it wasn't just with action movies. It would happen with comedies. It would happen with dramas. It would happen with everything. Where it's like, look, guys, we get it. Amazing, amazing parents, wonderful spouse. Can we please move on from this? Like, you know, it wouldn't be bing, bang, boom, plot. You know, where nowadays you do that, but because your audience has become sophisticated enough to like, look, we don't need to see the hand monster. Like, we get it. Like, you know, like, oh, the hand monster. And the kid's going, no. And see how much fun we're having? Like that crap. And there's a lot of this at the top of this movie, to the point where when I see how long this movie is, because it is over 2 hours, I'm like, why is this movie 2 hours? And it presented itself to me almost immediately. Oh, right. We've got about 25 minutes of having to watch her be the perfect wife and the perfect parent. Like we have to do that. But she's a little unconventional. She's not like them other soccer moms. She's her own soccer mom. Like, you know, like there's so much of that ground laying, to the point where it's like, look, let's get past the Hallmark movie of this and let's get into the movie, please.
Now, Sean, do you hate the movie Liar Liar?
I do, because of the opening of that movie. There's 25 minutes of Jim Carrey. See, yeah, he's got a problem with the truth, but not around his kid. He loves his boy. He loves him. It makes me insane.
Attention spans clearly have gotten shorter for a very long time. You know, a lot of folks in the editing world talk about the MTV effect, where the average cut went from being like every 46 seconds to every 18 seconds in a matter of 3 years or something like that. But I do think now that the storytelling is more like a book or a podcast, something that people are going to like. You've got to catch them quick, because they're not going to wait around for it to get good like they would have when they bought a ticket and they're sitting in the theater. Right. I feel like other than the people that really are the auteurs, the Nolans, the Camerons, some people like that, most people are like, boy, if they don't like the first 10 minutes of this movie, they're going to pick up their phone. They're not going to pay attention. They're going to review it poorly, and it's going to bomb. And it's like, you got to catch them right off the bat.
We've been talking about it for years. Does this movie pass the phone test? Like, I mean, because after your 800th superhero movie, you know, like, does it pass your phone test? And so this one doesn't pass the phone test, but it'll make you put your phone down in certain scenes, for sure.
I remember when I was seeing Bloodshot in the cinema, I asked them if they could please turn down the brightness on the movie so I could see my phone better. Since I was the only one there, they did it. But
it was the last movie I saw for a very long time.
I was so like, afraid
don't let this be the last movie I ever see in a theater, please.
And I was thinking of it at the time from two directions. Like, I might die from this and never get to go back to the theater because I'm in healthcare. So if there's a nasty strain of something, I'm going to get it. But then the other version is like, what if this is what kills movies and they'd never come back to the theater again, and I'm left with Bloodshot?
Right.
Well, and then they I don't know why they would have to, but for whatever reason, I feel like they would have to address what you were doing when you died. And like, listen, he went to go see Bloodshot, and that's what did it. We blame you, Vin Diesel. They hold some kind of candle vigil memorial and everything, and just like
I'd love for my 3 children to sue Vin Diesel,
burn an effigy of Vin Diesel. You could still do that. You could still, you know.
Let's talk about this movie a little bit. Yes. This is a movie that deserves to be talked about. I didn't make any notes, but I have some thoughts, and I'm happy to get us. Oh, good. Do you want to take charge then, since you have notes?
No. It's not a play-by-play breakdown.
Well, the first thing that I just kind of wanted to ask as it relates to this movie is I'm trying to think of when the Bourne Identity Not the books, but the movie, the Firstborn Identity movie.
2002.
Okay, so this is 6 years before that. That's pretty interesting.
It's funny because in the special features in this, they even talk about this. They were like, we kind of did Bourne before Bourne did.
And clearly, because this movie suffers because the Bourne movies exist. I mean, this movie is very good until you watch the Bourne movies and you're like, oh, this movie was made before the Bourne movies. But I'm sorry, Bruce, I keep cutting.
Yeah, well, this lives somewhere between the Bourne movies and A History of Violence, both movies that I knew very, very well before I saw this. So even though chronologically this movie came first, when I first start watching it, it feels very derivative because I feel like I've seen this story of the small town. It's, the only difference it feels like is the gender swap to me. Like I've seen it all before, but then he's like, no, this whole movie isn't going to be about figuring out who she is. This movie's actually going to be about who she is. And like that part in the beginning is the throwaway part rather than normally in this kind of thing at the end, you get the big reveal and the movie kind of ends. But this is like, no, that's just the setup. That's like, this is our cold opening, but it's just very, very, very
right.
It was interesting. This was originally written as a guy. It was a guy in the original role.
You can totally tell.
What I had heard, I really thought Shane Black insisted it had to be a woman, and he wrote this.
At least not to the special features that I have been.
Okay, so I haven't seen any special features. I've read from Wikipedia, notoriously, not reliable. I didn't double verify the source or anything, but it had a quote from. He was quoted in Wikipedia is what I'm trying to say. Shane Black of saying, the studio told me it would make more money if the main character was a male, but it had to be a female because the child's story, it doesn't make sense if you're trying to figure out the parentage from the mother's side. Like, who the father is, but you're not sure who the mother is. That doesn't quite work usually.
I think he probably started it as a guy and then it evolved to a woman. And they were like, but if we do it as a dude, we could sell, have another big male name to be able to sell, the movie or whatever. And I think that's probably their thought.
Also, don't forget, when you have a movie like this movie and people want to, get your 2 bits on this thing, especially since it was the highest selling, it got the most money for a script ever at the time.
Yeah. 8.5 million. Crazy.
And so when that happens, they want to talk to the writer. The writer is going to make fantastical things happen like that, where like, no, this is always written for a woman, blah, 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 blah. I say malarkey, sir. That totally did not happen. You retrofit it to work so that Gina Davis and her director and boyfriend could buy the rights to this thing and then make it. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that at all, to retrofit something to fit an actor or a star, especially somebody as cool as Gina Davis at the time. And so to have your fake malarkey, it's that George Lucas, no, this has been in my head the whole time, horse shit.
I love it.
The same thing goes with Alien. Alien has that big problem now where they go back and a lot of people are ascribing this stuff to the original Alien script. And when you look back, it's like none of that was there. It evolved from there and it became that sort of thing. And it's awesome that it did, but it did not start that way. It was just generic people.
What's the guy that wrote Star Beast, worked with Carpenter? Was it O'Bannon? Something like that?
O'Bannon, same guy.
Yeah. That guy, it's crazy to me how much that DNA was all together at USC back then. Sorry, I don't want to get too far off. But now that I frame it as a vanity project that a very, very wealthy couple undertook, now I can understand why they would insist he change the lead from male to female. And he may have his own pride that he doesn't want to admit that for $8.5 million, he would have changed the lead character into a talking cat. He doesn't want to admit that. But it makes a lot more sense to me because I didn't even frame it in the fact like, oh, yeah, because I didn't realize it was Gina Davis going into it. I didn't even think about her and Renny Harlin's off-screen relationship. All I thought about was the on-screen relationship known as Cutthroat Island.
Right.
Now, the thing is this was kind of a very, what she at least now definitely considers kind of a turning point movie for her career. Does Gina Davis here and everything, because at this point she's 40 years old. And she's been, she was in a lot of great movies and stuff, like your League of Your Own and all that kind of good stuff. and doing really, really well in those roles. But, you know, it's Hollywood, and you get to a certain age, and Hollywood definitely says, no, we don't know that we want you around here, old lady. They throw, you know, older ladies out real fast. Yeah. And this was kind of a shot in the dark for her, of just kind of going, you know, I feel like I kind of want to reinvent myself a little bit and just be able to kind of take on, you know, roles that aren't necessarily like me and my personality or anything. She's like, I'm not this kind of badass person. It's just like, that's something I've got to act into here and everything. But it was definitely a purposeful choice for her to kind of head her career sort of down this role, you know, route here and everything. And I think it did well for kind of that latter half of years, because she's still going strong today.
Yeah. Did she have the biceps like she has in this movie in Cutthroat Island?
No.
She's got an impressive physique here. So yeah, I would. She has a physique that I was impressed with. Knowing Gina Davis well, this looked a little different than I expected when she's like flexing her muscles and stuff. Very impressed. And she didn't have a mustache, so I don't think she got her muscles the way Stallone does. But I was wondering if maybe she had already kind of like done the whole extreme physical fitness for Cutthroat Island, so they wanted to keep it going into another movie before she relaxed, you know, so that's why I was curious about that. For some reason, I never saw Cutthroat Island.
She probably, well, there's a good damn reason not to see that movie. It's just awful, and I wanted to love that movie so bad, and it's just the worst. It's so bad. It should be great, and it's just not. But I would say to you that Gina Davis probably was on a health regimen, like muscle building regimen, starting on Cutthroat Island, because this was the turn her career was going to take, and they knew that going into it. Like, okay, we're going to start with this movie, we're going to go then to The Long Kiss Goodnight, and then we're going to be off to the races. And that kind of didn't happen. Like, she's still great. I'm not going to say anything bad about Gina Davis. I think she's amazing. But you can't deny that she's not, you know, like there's not some gigantic franchise she's the helm of. And that's kind of what they were looking for her.
I just had another thought, too. I'm pretty sure the 96 Atlanta Olympics are the Olympics that Gina Davis competed in archery. So she's probably training for the Olympics while she's making this movie.
I don't know.
That would also explain I'll have to verify that, because that's one of those, from my memory, I don't remember which Olympics, but it feels like it might have been Atlanta, because that would have been, you know, she wouldn't have had to travel, so she could shoot at the same time, shoot arrows and films at the same time.
I like how when we see the little kind of montage there at the beginning, which I'm seeing a lot of these kind of things that are all leading up to what Fincher does in Seven. So like it seems like I've seen about 5 things, and Fincher just goes, I'm tired of everybody doing this wrong. I'm gonna show you what it's supposed to look like. The opening for Seven, he does it better than anybody else. But I've seen so many, they're just like, we're kind of like that, but not really. But when you see that little opening bit, I thought it was so great, because how actually correct it was, because Gina Davis is a tall lady, and they list her height as 6 foot. And so I was like, oh, they actually, you know, a lot of other ladies would just be like, ooh, bump that down just a little bit there. But no, Gina Davis, proud of being that tall lady and everything. That's always like watching what you call it there, The Fly, with her and Goldblum just being like damn near the same height. And you're like, how the hell? Oh yeah, these two are giants. And
it's one of the things about this movie that if you are, like, when you're watching it, at times something looks off sometimes with the action, because she is the person doing a lot of the action in this movie.
Oh yeah.
And it looks a little off because people are little when they're doing, you know, like a lot of stunt people are little and most actors are little. And so there's a bit of gangliness to the action of this movie, which I think is a feature, not a bug, because you can see her doing the work, and it's like, oh, that's really neat. It looks a little off because, you know, it's like Conan O'Brien taking a swing at somebody, but like,
yeah,
it's pretty great that it's her doing it, and she looks good doing it too. Like, I have no problem at all. It's the thing that we talked about forever when it came to the superhero movies. I have no problem at all believing that Gina Davis can handle herself in a fight. She's not 90 pounds soaking wet. She looks like she's actually eaten something in the past 2 years in this movie, where, you know, what's happened these days now is, oh, we'll just get this really this really cute skinny girl to be the hero and will girl boss her. Like, and I hate that about it. Whereas I love Gina Davis in this thing, man. She's just so great.
Yeah, we're gonna take Dora the Explorer and make her hot girl. Everybody will believe it. But no, I can believe Gina Davis beating up this like a Dollar Tree version of Ben Affleck way easier than I can believe Scarlett Johansson beating up Frank Grillo as Crossbones. So yeah, I totally
exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Frank Grillo would like literally just tear her in half from left, right to the right.
Yeah. When we do get to meet Mitch, that's the name of Samuel L. Jackson's character. As a long-term comic book fan, I suddenly felt like, oh man, this is kind of like a Brian Michael Bendis character with a little Shane Black flair put on it. Because I like a lot of it probably just goes back to Jessica Jones, honestly, with Alias. But I like the totally down and out, borderline, just jump off a bridge and never come back George Bailey, private investigator, like from the old noir tradition, who actually is the only one who stumbles upon this. You know, I just love the idea of like the worst possible choice is the one that ends up being the hero. It's basically taking the Lord of the Rings, and instead of a hobbit, you've got an incompetent and crooked detective along with he's quasi pimping. I don't know what he's doing with
he's
with
not
Trent
well we'll go let's get into that, right? So
scam pimping.
Let's tackle a couple of things that you just said. I don't think that Samuel Jackson's bad at his job. I think that he's bad at shooting. I think that he's bad at the tough guy stuff because they do that on purpose so that she can be the one who's the alpha, and you totally need to do that. So that's part one of this. Number two is that it's all a con job. That's not like he's not pimping anyone. It's part of the play. But at first, I gotta tell you, like I had such high hopes for the rat-a-tat of the script, of the dialogue in this movie at the very top at that first scene, because he said Samuel Jackson comes in, kicks in the door, and there's that guy, and he gets caught with the prostitute. Yeah. And he goes, "I can tell by your choice that you are not a wealthy man." And that
was a great line.
The
look on her face and everything, like, oh my God, will you shut up?
I howled. I was laughing so hard, and I was like, ooh, could this be really, really great Shane Black? And it never reaches that zenith again. Like that's literally the best funny line in the movie. But so it was kind of fool's gold, that line, because I was like, oh my God, let the entire movie be kiss, kiss, bang, bang again. Like this would be great. Because I had seen the movie a couple of times, actually. This is one of those movies where when people go, hey, tell me a movie no one's seen that's really good. 20 years ago, I would have gone with this. I don't know if I would do that now. I like this movie, but this movie is kind of like a time capsule movie at this point. It's not something where you're just like, look, this movie is super sweet and you're going to love it, because I don't think that's what this is anymore. It's more like, how old are you? Oh, are in your 40s and 50s? Then you're going to really enjoy the oldness of this movie, because there's a lot of that in this, right? Like you have all of those stupid hallmarks of movies from this era. Like, oh, no. This is a totally normal thing. People just are carolers who go from door to door in neighborhoods. That's something that happens.
Ask you about that. Of all people, you'd have been in the place where there happened to have been carolers. No one's caroling in the South here. But what you ever have experience with carolers?
Because that's not a real thing that happens in modern America. That is not a real thing.
No figgy pudding.
I have people in my family who have caroled within the past 10 years, but not in the last 3.
That just go from door to door in neighborhoods?
Yeah, I mean, it's musical theater group. They do it, and then some people donate money or tip them or whatever.
They're like, listen, if they won't come to our shows and let us bother them there, we're going to go to them, damn it.
There's no way that people, and so when they're caroling, there's people who are like, oh boy, the carolers are here. I find that incredibly hard to believe.
I pull the old Mrs. Deagle from the Gremlins and throw the water bucket on.
You guys take Apple Pay? You want to give a tip via Apple Pay? Where's your QR code, huh? For your carol group.
So that's part one of the oldness of this movie, right? Like this is something that they would never do in a modern movie unless it's, like on the Walt Disney Channel, like or something like that. Like whatever the equivalent of that is now. And so that's part one. Part two is that to show that Gina Davis's character is real tough. She's a smoker.
Yeah.
And man, that lady has never smoked a cigarette in her entire life. And it looks so foreign and weird. And she immediately blows out the smoke because she doesn't want to get the cancer. And so she's like, and I'm like,
Sean,
lady,
get it out.
I'd give you 10-1 odds that those are clove cigarettes too.
Oh, without a doubt, man.
Not like the smoking man on the X-Files wouldn't smoke real tobacco, so he had like the fakies, and I bet you that's what Gina Davis has. She's training for the Olympics, man. She did the decathlon or high jump or something. Didn't she?
That's fine. Then don't put the cigarette in the move. Don't put the cigarette.
Yeah,
in your
I'm
movie.
with you there.
No,
we live in an era. We live in an era now where we watch Don Draper just like kill some Pall Malls, like just pack after pack of Pall Malls or whatever it was he smoked, and like just unfiltered cigarette after unfiltered cigarette. And I'm like, that guy's really smoking right now. It's crazy.
I love when you can tell that the actual actor's gone, here's what we need to do with this character. And then they just kind of throw in smoking to just be like, I really think my character, and eventually the director's just like, fine, whatever. Okay. Smoke at least looks good on film. That'll work. Sure.
Yeah, season 1, they spent more on John Hamm's cigarettes than his paycheck. That's how it was. Then he became a big star and he got paid.
Cigarettes didn't cost that much back then.
I don't know what they cost back then. I really expected, now, please don't make fun of me. I'm being serious. I expected more Samuel L. Jackson in this movie. I was kind of surprised that you got a dynamo like that and they were able to be a little restrained with him and not steal the movie away. But then again, it was directed by Gina Davis's husband. I got to keep that in mind because sometimes I don't keep that in mind. But I don't know. Did you guys feel like it would have been nice to have just a little bit more Samuel L. Jackson, or were you like thinking this is the right amount?
I've got a lot to say about this. So Adam, go ahead, give your 2 bits.
I think it's what you kind of want. I think it's about that. I think it's the right amount because I think if you have him too much, I think it could really kind of spill over and it becomes the Samuel L. Jackson show. And it's not. It's the Gina Davis show featuring Samuel L. Jackson, right? Yeah. I think he's really good. But again, you also have to remember Sam Jackson also has the distinction of having more movies in the 90s than anybody else. So the man was taking, role after role after role. And so, he's bound to be doing, big roles, small roles, and everything in between.
Yes.
True.
Yes. In 96, I mean, this is just before this man's about to explode. This man is about to be one of the biggest names in the world. And this is like the movie before. Like, it's that good, man.
What year was Pulp Fiction?
It's 94.
Yeah, because in my sphere of influence at the time, that's when he became huge.
That's what I mean. Like, that's the movie that makes him gigantic. But my guess is they probably are making this around the same time they're making Pulp Fiction, is my guess.
Okay.
Yeah, it's probably 95-ish and stuff like that.
So what I know about Sam Jackson.
I'm sorry, real fast, just because it's connected to Renny Harlin there. Renny Harlin's next movie with Samuel L. Jackson in Deep Blue Sea and stuff, when Sam Jackson gives his, stirring speech and everything that everybody remembers, for the reason that they remember it, that is the point where we are already all on that Sam Jackson train because you believe that what you're getting is that speech. And so at that point, you do know that Samuel L. Jackson has 100% made it. So yeah, it's definitely has to be by this movie for sure.
So here's what happens with Sam Jackson in this movie. So they write the script and shoot it where his character, is second build for a reason. Like this is a Gina Davis movie. Renny Harlin's over the title. Gina Davis is over the title. Sam Jackson ain't. And so they make him a supporting actor in this, but they thought so little of this that they actually killed off the character. Like they shot it that way. The character dies, and when they first do their screenings for this movie, the audience was so angry that Samuel L. Jackson doesn't live that they would go into reshoots. And and when you know that, the next time you see this movie, you can totally tell when the reshoots are, because you're like, oh wow, they really they really look different right now. Like
Maybe that's what I thought the DP switched. I don't know.
Well, it's at the end of the movie, so like, you know, Samuel Jackson looks a little different. Gina Davis looks a little different. Like this is months after, like clearly months and months after they'd shot principal photography. And it is one of those moments where you're like, you know what? Like, yes, studio meddling is a real thing and it sucks a lot of the times, but this movie isn't nearly as awesome if Samuel Jackson's character dies in this movie. That guy deserves to live at the end of this thing. And it's a way better movie if he does. And so I'm very glad that happened.
And he's having so much fun with this role and everything. This is also the part of Sam Jackson's career where he is really kind of getting into it and looked like he's just running the gamut and having so much fun between like Pulp Fiction and this, and then, you know, all the other stuff that comes right thereafter. He's having a blast with this. He's starting to realize, like, I'm Sam Jackson, damn it. Like, yeah, you are.
He says this is, I do not believe this, but he says this is his favorite character he's ever played. I find that incredibly hard to believe, Mr. Jackson. I think that he says that because it's a cool thing to say. I think that he probably experienced something on that movie that he probably hadn't done before that, where like, oh, I'm on this gigantic movie where my name is on the poster. And so, like, they're going to treat me like royalty, because Sam Jackson in Jurassic Park, that's a gigantic movie. He's having a sandwich in that movie, man. Like they're taking him to the set. He does his couple lines. They take him home. That's 3 days.
Hold on to your butt. Well, thanks, everybody. It's been a good day.
Good
I was
night.
trying to think, because he might have literally been having a sandwich in his sandwich. That's what I was trying to spin back to.
No, he's smoking up a storm in that movie, baby.
Yep.
But so him. I can see him having a fondness for this, because it's probably the first movie where it's just like ridiculous amounts of money you're being thrown at this movie, to the point where it's like I cannot believe that human beings are like always in this opulence, like that kind of thing. And he probably experienced that.
Do you know how much money this movie cost in $1996?
I think it's probably around like 80 to 100 million is my guess.
I think I know the answer, so I'll keep my mouth shut and I'll hear if I'm right or wrong.
I believe 86 is what I saw. So
nice.
That's pretty big for 96.
I had 85 in my head. Yeah. And what was the box office on this?
It was about
worldwide. It was like
100 worldwide. It wasn't just enough. They made just enough. I'd say they'd call this a push, especially with having to do as prints and stuff back in the day as they did. So I'd probably say that they would think this is a kind of a push movie.
Yeah.
I guess that's why they didn't make the part 2.
Stunt wise, this movie is chock-a-block full of stunts and stuff, and that is one of the things that they all very much pride themselves on. When you look at the special features and stuff like that, one of the main stunt coordinators and everything was just like, I look back and like, this may be the hardest show I ever worked on. I worked on some tough shows. This was one of the hardest ones, but like they all took it very, very seriously. Like you said, Gina Davis did a boatload of her own stunts there and everything. All of the being on the wheel and stuff like that, the big water wheel that they would dunk her under, she did all of that stuff. And the amount of like, this was a really cool time that you don't think about this, but we are at a moment right now in 96 where prosthetics and like fake heads and stuff like that are starting to get unbelievably good. So much so that, like, you know, when she's underwater there, that's a completely synthetic Brian Cox that's floating.
Really?
That's not real.
Wow. I thought I could have sworn. Speaking of Brian Cox, that's amazing.
I'm gonna have to step out for just a minute, which kills me because Brian Cox is my favorite, but I got to check on something. I'll be right back.
Yep.
So I do we know just how old Brian Cox is? The reason why I asked this question is that this movie is released in 1996, which means they probably shot it in 1995. And Brian Cox is old in this movie.
He looks the same.
How old is this man? How old is this man? Is he one of those people that's like Morgan Freeman, where he looked old in his 20s? Or is it something where like, oh, no, you don't understand. Brian Cox is 90 years old. Like I can't tell what it is.
1946 is the year.
Oh
of birth.
wow. Okay. So he is old. He's actually old. He's in his 80s.
But he looked like again. He looked old 25 years ago or 30 years ago at this point.
Yeah, I mean it's 35 years ago, and he looked like he was in his 60s.
Yeah. But he looks the same in this movie that he does in like Adaptation, which is in like 2002 or whatever.
Yeah,
it's pretty close to the same things. Like, oh, this man doesn't really age, but boy, oh boy, always given a spectacular performance no matter what you do with that guy.
Yeah.
Throw Brian Cox in the situation is like when I saw his name in the credits, it was just like. Beautiful. Already don't even have to think about this character. He's just done. We're good. Thank you. That's so awesome.
I thought that we would have a couple more of those because Brian Cox was the surprise, right? Like for me, because it had been so long. I'm like, oh man, sweet. Brian Cox is in this. We get to see young Brian Cox. What? I was able to read that one.
Yeah,
Brian
I can bring
Cox is in Highlander.
Is a Highlander.
Oh my God.
Of course,
no idea.
There can only be one Brian Cox, and then you had to cut the ass head off or something such.
Does he look old in that? Because that's
no.
what 83.
He's saying he is a Highlander.
He is a Highlander. I see.
No, not in Highlander. Is a.
Oh my God! I was about to like. I haven't watched the original Highlander movie in a coon's age, but like
Highlander.
But if I heard he was in that, I'd be like, oh my God, I got to go see that immediately.
It does, but it would probably track though. You'd be like, all right, I could see that. He's got a one of those fancy voices. Why not?
It's like when you're watching something like Saving Private Ryan or Band of Brothers, where there's all these incredibly famous people who just like have a sandwich and leave, and you're like, oh my God, that person's in this thing, and they're nobody. They're literally nobody right now. But that didn't happen much in this movie. This movie has Brian Cox is the big surprise, and then that guy. Oh yeah, he was in a lot of movies in the 90s. Is David Morse the main bad guy? Well, look, David Morse is a totally different story. David Morse is. I don't know what the deal is with that guy. He always plays the same character,
kind of.
Where he's mild-mannered and very serious, even when he's like, aren't I being fun? Like he has a couple of moments like that in this movie, but there's something incredibly serious about that man. And I like David Morse a lot. Like I whenever I see him in something, I'm like, okay, this movie just went up a notch.
Very reliable.
Yes, very reliable. Also, not in enough Westerns, that guy. They should have put him in way more Westerns.
Yeah,
he'd have been perfect for any of those 90s Westerns. He would have been great in.
I think this is one of his earlier kind of roles and stuff too. But doing great there is a little kind of like you said, the what do we call him? Formerly scorned kind of guy, I guess you would agree.
Yeah, chopping wood, wearing flannel, looking great, looking pretty cool. Pretty cool.
What we do back in the day.
I think that there's so much 90s-ness in this, like even the things that at the time didn't feel like 90s-ish. It's that kind of 90s movie where like, oh no, we're making this sucker evergreen. You know what I mean? And then you look at it and you're like, oh, this is the most 90s movie that ever 90s. It's pretty great for that. And when you look at other movies from this era, like it's just rife with that, like all over the place, right? And like like the way that her house looks, even like it like oh do you live next door to the McAllisters? Like just stuff like that, man.
McAllister coded for sure on that one.
Getting back to the stunts for a second, because I did mean to bring this up. They shot it in Toronto, right? They shot this movie in Toronto, and there were moments in this movie where I'm like, oh my God, everyone is freezing in this scene. Like everyone, get those people into a heated trailer, please, immediately. They're in the water half the time. Like it's like, oh, please,
get
for the
this.
love of God.
So when they came out of the water, when they were shooting the machine guns down and stuff like that, it's kind of cool how they did it. Well, the crash thing was separate. Obviously, they didn't go into the water. Them coming out of the water and everything, there was like a heated pool that was underneath the water just. That's kind of wild, right? And they
That's
like
awesome.
pop up out of that to kind of like do it. They were still cold as hell, but you know, it was at least heated enough to where it could kind of mitigate some things out.
That's really cool. They also did the trick a couple of times that actually makes me feel bad for actors, which is they're outside and they don't want the breath to be an issue. And so the actor has to put ice in their mouth. And there's a couple of scenes in this movie where I'm like, ooh, they had to chew on ice before they said this scene. That sucks.
Oh, man.
It sucks so bad.
Hey, they could be doing the opposite, which is in like I just noticed it watching A Simple Plan, watching that when one of these guys comes over to Paxton's house there and everything and is talking with him. This fake CGI breath is coming out of his mouth and then just disappears out of nowhere, and then he just walks out. I'm like, this. Oh man, that looks bad.
Come on, Raimi. You didn't need that there. Come on.
It could have not been there, and you would have just figured, oh, maybe it's cold. But they were like, this is not selling cold well enough. Throw in some CGI breath, and it just dissipates and disappears. And then they walk right through that. It's so bad. It's so bad.
Man, and Raimi is just the king of that's good enough. Let's move on. So, like, come on, Raimi. What are we doing? What do you think of the kid actor in this?
Okay, this is interesting, right? Because while I was watching it, I thought this kid actor sucked completely. It was just absolutely terrible. Looked like a deadpan face the entire time. I was like, why on God's green earth did we hire this kid? And then the kid scene comes, right? And when the kid scene comes where she's over her body there and everything and screaming, you gotta get up, Rock, you know, essentially. I was like, that's why they got this. And listening to the special features, that is absolutely what happened. They gave her like 2 scenes. She destroyed it in those scenes, and they hired her from that.
Am I with you guys?
Yeah.
Yes, but why?
Awesome. Thank you. I'm in my car. My son had a transportation issue where the person who was supposed to give him a ride home from his Huntington Symphony Orchestra rehearsals could not give him a ride. So I'm in my car waiting on him, but I have realized I could join on the phone in the meantime, if that's okay with you guys.
Yeah.
HMP is on the road, everybody.
Literally. So the reason why I ask is because they use the girl like so strangely in this movie, where she is like 3 times like in danger, this kid, right? 3 different times she's in danger, and that's probably 2 times too many in my opinion. Like, you can put the kid in danger once, you can't put the kid in danger 3 separate different times, 3 unique times.
Silas,
it's ridiculous.
I'm podcasting. You're going to hold this while I drive home.
I'm gonna mute him for a second. Go ahead. Well, I say that, but it didn't work. Hold on. Go ahead.
Where
Go ahead.
Okay.
I've got him on mute.
Remember what I said at the beginning of the show? Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. So,
just trying not to kill nobody.
Like it's bizarre because the kid in this movie has had a long career. Like, she's worked. She's probably 50 years old now. She still works and looks exactly the same, just in woman form now.
Mm-hmm. She seemed nice. She seemed like a nice enough person because they show obviously modern day her age her and everything, talking about the experience in the and there's a whole feature on that on the DVD and whatnot. Seems like a lovely lady.
She's a TV actor. Like, she shows up in shows like let me see here, like NCIS, and she's in Our Flag Means Death, like cool stuff like that, and she just works all the time, man. That's cool. She must be super easy to work with. And Shane Black keeps giving her stuff like, hey, let's put her in the Nice Guys,
Yeah. Yeah, like but when I saw the big giant, her big dramatic scene there and everything, I was like, oh, okay, maybe the other kids could do some of the cute stuff or whatever, but like she could really deliver that scene, and she does deliver that scene. I was like, oh, okay, got it. Let me ask you guys this: Craig Bierrico, what's this guy's deal?
I think that he is. In the 90s, he's 90s handsome, which we don't talk about a lot. Like there's a style of dude that only worked in the 90s as a handsome gentleman, and then anything after that, it's like we don't like this look anymore, right? Like because you start seeing those guys go away, like the guy who's in the Stallone driven, who was supposed to be Wolverine. That guy,
Dougray Scott, yeah,
that guy. Like he is 90s handsome, but he doesn't make it past the 90s, right? So like you look at like he's not a leading man handsome anymore. I think it's the same thing with this guy, where this guy is 90s handsome, but anything after that, I'm sure he still works because he's
he does, yeah. I looked to see like he does boatloads of TV and stuff like that, so he's still rocking and rolling throughout all these years. It's just one of those like that was a name you heard a whole bunch, and then it was just kind of like poof.
Yeah, because he's not a leading man. He's not leading man handsome.
No, but at the same time, but yeah, there's a lot of that weird kind of 90s look to you, and then you're like, okay, well, that's just it. You're gone from here, and that's all we needed from you. Because he's handsome enough, but it looks like where's that one little it factor? I guess he just didn't have whatever that is.
It didn't cross over to the 2000s.
Somehow she just don't make no translations. But overall, though, I this movie was a whole lot of fun. I thought the stunts were actually really cool. I love the when we're flying over top, and Gina Davis absolutely did this one with all of the lights and stuff, doing basically the police story where she's like sliding down and all those lights going off and stuff like that. Good stuff. Again, I almost think that a lot of the action and stuff kind of really overtakes even the movie, because I think we really get to plot beats and we figure stuff out very automatically, and there's a lot of just called shut up, the plot's just moving forward, and you just have to kind of lean into it and like just go with the flow here, because if there's parts that you're going like, well, how do we get there? Stop thinking. You're thinking too hard. Don't do that.
So before we go on to the Christmas list, with is this movie a Christmas movie? I gotta point out that at this point, with the way that the camera is being pointed at Bruce, it looks a lot like an episode of Cops.
Very hostage situation here. I'm gonna
and I can't tell if he's the criminal or the cop. I can't tell just exactly what's going on there. Because it is the same, the same whole, like the lighting, the camera angle. It's all the same.
Well, I'm seeing a couple of the suspects coming up front here. It's like, here. All right, we're over. Get too much.
All right.
Did you ever see Steven Seagal Lawman?
No.
It's where Steven Seagal is going around the streets of, I think it's like New Orleans or something, as a like deputy police officer and everything, and he'd be riding in the back. They'd drive around. They'd see some suspicious people who always happen to be black. But he would just see them, and his spidey sense would go off. And then he'd be like, those guys. Let's go get them. And they go. And for whatever reason, it's television, but they have committed some sort of crime. And somehow Steven Seagal saw it with his spidey sense and everything. And then they go and arrest those guys. And every person getting arrested is like, is fucking Steven Seagal arresting me? What's happening here? Like, they're so confused.
So they're not in on the production.
No, this was like, it's like Cops, but with Steven Seagal. And
they let
him loose.
Whenever his Seagal sense goes off, does his ponytail go point, 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 point?
It does go into black. It does, like the camera like goes into like kind of the 45-degree shuttered in black and white and stuff like that, with like little zooms and stuff. And it's just like, we see black people, it's time to arrest them. That's what it felt like, at least while watching it. It was not good, because I was just like, can you arrest any white person? Just give me one. What
are you doing? I'm back on the good one now.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
All right, let's get down to like we said, this is a very kind of Christmassy movie. Shane Black himself is known for Christmas movies. We've got 10 questions here with which to figure out if indeed this is a Christmas movie. Shawnee, let's kick it off.
Okay. So for those of you who are joining us for the first time, because every podcast is someone's first podcast.
Welcome.
During the Christmas season, our idea is this. Every Christmas movie has to take this test. There's just yes or no questions. You get a point for each yes. If a movie gets a 5.5 or higher, it is a Christmas movie. If you get lower than 5.5, it's not a Christmas movie. So here we go. Question number 1. Is Christmas the single most important element of the movie? Adam, we'll go with you first so that we can give Bruce a second.
I am going to say no. I don't think that Christmas is a central point of this movie. As is the case with a lot of Shane Black movies, this movie has a lot of Christmas in it, but Christmas itself, again, like a lot of Shane Black movies, not necessarily the crux of it. I'm going to say no.
Yeah, me too. I think that Christmas is just kind of the backdrop of this movie. It's not, it's barely an element, really. I mean, the main thing is really the born identity of Gina Davis's character, first off, right? Mm-hmm. And you kind of, what this movie has to do is it has to make you believe that Gina Davis can go from mom, everyday mom, to badass action star, right? That like if you can get the audience to that point, then congratulations, you've made your movie. Nowhere in the sentence that I just said does Christmas pop into that equation.
Yeah.
So I have to say I'm giving one a no also. Bruce, are you ready?
No, I'm ready. No on the first one, and I've scored it a 0 on my official scrap paper score sheet.
Question number 2. If it were any other time of year, would it change the movie? Bruce, let's go with you.
I mean, wintertime works because they have that scene that they really promoted with breaking through the ice with the gun. So like that has to be wintertime, but this could easily be like a late blizzard in, March or February and still work. I really don't feel that it has to be in Christmas, even though they do start at will. Let me back up. She's Mrs. Claus on television, and that's how all this gets started. So I'm going to say that for 2. Yep, I'm going to say yes. Christmas is integral. Is that what you asked?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Adam, what do you say?
Yeah, just barely. It's just barely there. But like you said, Bruce, there's just enough there that, like I said, if they didn't see her in the Christmas parade and everything else like that, that would not have kind of spurred on that one extra event there and whatnot. So yeah, I'm going to say it's essential.
So I'm going to say something that I usually don't do here, but I am going to say no, and here's why. I think this is a far more interesting movie if it takes place around Valentine's Day. Like maybe the parade is a Valentine's Day parade. It's unique to the town, whatever you need to do to get her on TV.
In the city of St. Valentine's, they always have a parade of blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Whatever nonsense you need to get her on TV. Right. I think that is a far more interesting movie when you have a kid whose parentage is in question, if that is happening on Valentine's Day. I get the Christmas thing because it's Shane Black, so you want that everywhere. But you can make Valentine's Day as crazy as Christmas if you want to, And so I think that it doesn't need to be Christmas. So I am saying no to number 2. Number 3. Other than props, set dressing, and soundtrack, can you tell it's Christmas in this movie? Let's go with you, Adam.
Other than those things, I'm going to say no, because it doesn't feel like Christmas, like outside of set dressing and stuff like that, how things are looking. It doesn't feel like anybody is looking forward to Christmas. It doesn't feel like get your list ready, daughter, or anything else like that. There's none of those things that are kind of going on. This is an atheist family as far as I could tell. I don't even know, did they have a Christmas tree up? I can't remember, but like it doesn't come up, it seems.
So you said barring props, set dressing, and sound, like the soundtrack music, right?
Right. Yes.
But dialogue is allowed.
Yes.
Because the dialogue does reference Christmas. Mrs. Claus, she gets called a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Samuel Jackson probably makes some Merry effing Christmas kind of comment at some point.
Yeah, probably.
So I think the dialogue does refer to Christmas. It's not like those Christmas movies where you're like, okay, clearly this was written not to be at Christmas and they just decided to decorate the set that way, like First Blood, for example.
Right. I think so. Yeah, I think it's I'm saying yes as well. And the reason why I'm saying yes is specifically the scene at the end of the movie. They've got the little girl in the hotel. The head agent comes in and he's going to hand her a doll, even though she's completely passed out. And he goes, "My God, we're monsters. Let's at least give her something for Christmas," like that kind of thing. That is a moment in this movie where I'm like, there's your Christmas right there. Like, make all the pies you want in your kitchen. That ain't Christmas, sir. Christmas is happening in that scene. And so I'm giving it a yes for that scene alone.
All right. Pretty strong
number
so far.
Yeah. Number 4, do any of the plot lines deal with any of the 4 meanings of Christmas: family, nostalgia, generosity, or hope? Bruce.
Family's right there with the whole daughter thing. So yes, is my vote.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's got to be that, and then of course, like you said, there's some nostalgia, and then she's longing or figuring, for a past that she doesn't remember, doesn't exist, kind of thing, and stuff like that. So yeah.
All right, me too. Yes, with family, and weirdly, yes, with nostalgia, but it's more of the movie being made in the 90s than anything else. It's not the movie trying to make. Hey, remember how great the 50s were? Like it's literally just the movie exists and it was made in the 90s.
Man, when she opened up a real player, you knew things were on.
Number 5, does someone dressed as Santa, make an appearance? Adam.
Oh yeah. So we got the old Christmas parade there. We got our main character being a Mrs. Claus and having that be the kind of jumping off point here and everything. So yeah. Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Bruce,
Samuel
you agree?
L. Jackson. Yeah, I agree. But Samuel L. Jackson really should have been in a Santa suit at some point.
Yeah, I'm guessing he would probably have been up for it. But the only deal is I get to swear like a madman if I got the Santa suit on.
They're like, not with Coca-Cola's Santa, thank you very much.
Number 6, does it feel like a Christmas movie, Bruce?
On this, I'm going to say no, because really, once they get into the water wheel and the torture and all the secret agent stuff, I kind of forget about Christmas till we circle back around where she's got like the sniper rifle and you see like the little kids all dressed in their red Christmas clothes and stuff. Then it kind of comes back to me. So I'm going to say no on that one.
Adam?
Yeah, I think I'm kind of the same. It's like it disappears for long enough, and then it feels like they, like you said, Bruce, they almost kind of shoehorn it back in. And at the last second, just go, no, Christmas, it's Christmas. See, we told you, you forgot, but here it is. You remember Shane Black movie. Bye-bye. That's it. So yeah, I'm gonna say no.
Yeah, it's a no for me too. Number 7, is this a movie you would only watch during the holiday season, Mr. Portress?
No. This is an easily watchable movie, and because Christmas isn't kind of the crux of it here and everything, it feels like you could easily go back and watch this for a nice rip roaring action fun time. So yeah.
Bruce?
I could watch this outside of the holiday season pretty easily. Yeah, I think that it's got enough story to carry it that it doesn't need the holiday mood to enjoy it. So it's like Gremlins type fare.
That's 3 no's. Number 8. Is this reasonably anyone's favorite Christmas movie? Oh, I'm so interested in hearing your guys' response to this one. Bruce.
I gotta say no, man. There's no way I'm gonna be able to vote yes on that one.
Adam.
My grandmother, God rest her soul, would never ever watch this movie. So I'm going to say no.
I thought you were gonna say she'd never let a Christmas go by without watching it at least once.
No, definitely not my grandma, but for sure. But no, this isn't a Christmas movie, and I don't think it's anyone's. It couldn't be. If it is, that's a weirdo person. You need to be watching them just for any kind of quick little movements or behaviors that you might want to just push down a little bit. If you know what I'm saying.
Sure. Number 9. Does this movie make Christmas seem magical in some way? Let's go with you, Bruce.
I don't think so. I'm going to say no on this, and I'm usually pretty generous on these questions, but I don't think that magic makes anything seem magical here. I mean, Christmas makes anything seem magical. There's magic here, but it's not Christmas magic. It's super secret spy magic.
Right. Adam?
I remembered I'm a spy lady. It's a Christmas miracle. That's exactly what she sounds like too. No, it's I can't in good conscience.
Somebody give me a cigarette. I want to pretend it looks like I smoke. I am going to say no as well. And which brings us to number 10. Could this movie reasonably fill someone with the Christmas spirit? Let's go with you, Adam.
I think if you're a disturbed individual and you have like one of those, like maybe you're a Shane Black kind of maybe like when you go for your Christmas movies, Shane Black is the guy that you go to for that kind of thing because, perhaps you didn't grow up with, your traditional sort of, Christmas family, stuff going on and everything. And you want something that's a little less traditional and you're one of those less traditional people. Maybe I could see it, but any other normal person, I'm going to say no.
Bruce.
Yeah, I gotta say no on this one again. And that doesn't mean it's not a good movie, but boy, yeah, I gotta vote no on number 10 there.
I am also. I'm going to go so far as to do this. I think this is one of those movies where if you hate Christmas, you can watch this movie and be just fine.
Yes.
Like, not only will it not fill you with the Christmas spirit, it won't take it away.
Yeah.
But it won't anger you if you hate Christmas, right? And I just thought of something sitting here, which is, does Shane Black have 12 movies with Christmas in the background? And the reason why I ask is the 12 days of Shane Black is waiting there for someone to take. If that's a thing that exists.
I don't know that it's that many. I think he got there was a point where I counted, at least from like quick early memory, like 4 or 5.
Mm-hmm.
And there may be a couple others in there that I wasn't quite sure and just didn't take the time to really, suss it out.
I don't think we get to 12.
Yeah, I think you could even justify kicking it off with Monster Squad because Halloween's kind of the start of the Christmas season. But even with that, I think 6 max.
Yeah, I mean, even something where because The Last Boy Scout was the movie that made him take a break for a long time. And I think that I don't remember that movie being at Christmas. Maybe it is.
That was one that I was like
season. 50. It was definitely NFL football season.
Oh, that could be.
So
that could be
fall
December.
At the very least, if not winter, because you have that famous scene that I think you and I both said that we loved it as football scene, Sean.
I do. There is the scene where they're like, "Old Satan Claus is coming for all of us, Jimmy." Anyway, those are the 10 questions. Bruce, if you would be so bold as to give us the tally for this week's Christmas test. Adam,
musical,
please.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I apologize. I was getting the script up for the rest of the show. I was trying to get all my ducks in a row. Here we go.
Now is is this a Christmas movie? Now is this a Christmas movie? Now is this a Christmas movie? Or is it dumb slop?
All right.
Well, it got off to a hot start with 4 quick points, and then it got shut out the rest of the way. So 4 points. Yeah.
Only 4 points.
I thought we were going to work with some good stuff here, but no, it's kind of taking a dive here. Interesting.
Well, that kind of explains why we also have kind of filled the deck here with a ringer. That's why next week's is a real ringer.
Well, it's all come down to this. Bruce, what is your star rating and recommendation for the Long Kiss Goodnight?
Well, going into it, I remember at the very beginning thinking, this is a kind of movie I don't like. It's a mid-90s paint by numbers action thing. It didn't feel like Shane Black. I was like, Shane Black, you can do better than this. And I went in thinking, like, even if everything else was great about this movie, the highest I could give it's 3.5 stars. But now that I made it to the end, I'm going to give it 3 3/4 stars because it was a little bit better than that.
Sean?
I like this movie, but I totally understand someone watching this who's younger and just hating every second of this. It's paced like a 90s movie. It's got all the hallmarks of a 90s movie, which for me, again, like I said earlier, it's a feature, not a bug. But I could totally see someone just completely overlooking this and not caring. So for me, this is going to be 3.5 Gina Davis retainers.
I thought for sure we'd have had like a Spin Doctor song or something in here just to really liven it up a little bit, but never. We didn't get none of that. Really a bit of a shame. I'm going 4 out of 5 stars on this one. I had a really good time. It's just that kind of like it's pure 90s kind of action movie there and everything. If this is what you're looking for and go in and like if the concept intrigues you, the movie's probably gonna be up your alley enough. Watch that trailer. It's got a good trailer, good 90s style trailer and everything. Watch that trailer and like, you'll figure out if you like it or not, just based upon that trailer. And then, plan accordingly afterwards. But I like it. It's really good just to see it's like walking into a time machine there, seeing old young Sam Jackson and Gina Davis there and everything looking so good, and like the timelessness with which the movies then capture our people and hold them in amber forever is kind of a fun little thing to look back at there and everything. But this is still something that I'll go back to. There's a reason why I picked it up on the 4K here and stuff. Not only was it on sale, but when we're doing the movie, I was like, yeah, I do like this movie, and I do enjoy it. So that is it, everybody. We got another Christmas movie down, but we've got yet another one to come here in just a moment. In the meantime, Bruce, where can we find more of your work on the internet?
We're taking a little break so that we can actually enjoy the holidays over on YouTube. But if you haven't checked it out, I think that when I counted, we had 27 movie reviews up on YouTube in the past 90 days. So that's pretty good. Dang. So go check some of those out if you haven't yet. And be on the lookout because I'm thinking about expanding and maybe having some other family members sit in for some movie reviews if I keep doing them. So, just check in, see what happens. No promises, but that adds to the mystery.
Sean, make some wild promises.
I absolutely guarantee you that if you go to TeePublic and you buy HMP merch, that's where it is, right? TeePublic.
That's correct.
And buy HMP merch, you are going to seem far more sexually attractive to whatever sex that you are attracted to.
Yeah.
Like a lot more, like way more than you usually probably already do because you have such great tastes in your culture, your entertainment culture. So please check that out. Check out our stuff over at the TeePubs.
And we no longer make you sign a waiver before you buy our products. So you got that going for you.
It's nice. It's nice for a change. And check me out on TikTok, or excuse me, on TikTok. You can, sure, why not? But what I really like you to do is check out TikTok Trash Tuesdays. What I really meant to say, that's over on YouTube. Every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern time, I get on and sit with a whole bunch of dirty babies in the chat and watch a whole bunch of movie-related TikToks and yak on those and have a good old-fashioned fun time. And we'd like you to be along for that fun time. So check that out Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Appreciate you. That will do it for this episode of Half-Ass Movie Podcast. Next week, join us for our very special Christmas episode where we will review Gremlins from 1984. For Sweet Sean's and Kovacs on the internet, Bruce Leslie, I'm Adam Porters, reminding you to get out there and watch some movies.
Now is this a Christmas movie? Now is this a Christmas movie? Now is this a Christmas movie? Or is it dumb slop?